Hello, Facebook friends. How are you today? I am on live. So as you come in, tell me what your plans are for the weekend. It's a Friday. I want to know what you're up to. What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be making anything pretty? Comment and tell me below. I just want to also make sure that my microphone is working and that you can hear me okay. So I'm going to make sure I can see your comments. If you just give me a quick second. Because I'm running this through a different software system and I just want to make sure that I'm seeing comments come through. Oh, and that's not going to help me. Give me a quick second. What are y'all planning today? Are you going to make anything pretty or this weekend? Maybe you're painting or crafting or making wreaths. Tell me what you're going to be doing. Yay. Okay, now I can see your comments. I was just in my inner circle group where I teach business tips, where I teach women and men how to take their craft that they've learned and sell it and make a six-figure business with it. So that's what I do in my inner circle. And I was just in there and we did a segment on fear and overcoming fear. We've already been in the group. We did a segment on discouragement and how to deal with discouragement and things, you know. It's just a heavy month this month in the inner circle, getting down to the nitty gritty of what could be holding us back. And I wanted to come on here for you guys and talk to you. And I was praying, what should I talk about? What should I talk about? The word the Lord put in my head is expansion. And I started thinking about that. Think about your lives, you guys. Expansion. There is something right now that's holding you back. There is something in your life, something that you know you need to do, something in your gut, something God is telling you you should do, and you're not doing it. You're holding it back. It's expansion, something you need to grow with, expand. Maybe it's your faith, maybe it's your friends getting out more, maybe it's your business, maybe it's your 9-to-5, maybe it's a relationship. There's something in your life that you need to expand and grow on. I don't know what it is. I'm just telling you, this is what God told me to talk to you about. Now, there are times that we have these little speed bumps in the road. A lot of times it's fear. A lot of times it's a drive. A lot of times we don't know what it is. I mean, I grew up knowing that I had something inside of me that I had to give, but I didn't know what it was. I knew that I was meant for greatness, and I didn't know how to use it. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know. I just knew that I was meant more to do more than what I was given at the time. Does that make sense? I mean, there are times when I was a stay-at-home mom and I'm burping and cleaning diapers, and I just know, girl, you are meant to be doing more than this. It's not that I didn't want to be there in the situation that I was in. I just knew it was my season, and after it, something good's coming. And I know you have that too. Most of you have that burning desire, that know that you have to do something or you should do something or you were meant for something big. And I want you to think about that for a moment and ask yourself, what is it? What is that? What could that be? A lot of times when you look to your friends and family, they already have been telling you what it is. They have already told you, you're good at this. You should do this. You should start a business. This is awesome. They also ask you, hey, can you help me with this? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? When people come to you for constant help with a specific problem or subject or task, it's usually something you're really good at. It's usually something you should take action on, expand on, grow with. What is that? Everybody's different. So for example, I gave this example just a few minutes ago in my inner circle. When I was a stay-at-home mom, I was always volunteering at church, volunteering at school, and that's great. You should do that. But people would always ask me, are you a teacher? I'm like, no, I'm not a teacher. Why are you asking me that? And it wasn't one person. It was all the time. Are you a teacher? Don't you teach? Are you a teacher? And I'm like, no, I don't know why people keep saying I'm a teacher, or asking me a teacher. Do I have a teacher haircut or something? I was like, I don't understand this. And then I look at myself now. Guess what, guys? I'm a teacher. I teach the art of wreath making and Wreath of the Month Club. I teach men and women how to build their business to become, a six-figure earner. I'm teaching now on Facebook Lives. I'm sharing my art, I'm sharing the talent that God gave me. I am a teacher. It's funny how people even then perceived me as a teacher, and it was a way for God to plant that seed in my head. You're a teacher. You're going to be a teacher. You're a teacher. You're going to be a teacher. So even though I'm not teaching in the classroom, I am still teaching. I have that teaching heart, that teaching thing that teachers have. I don't know what you call it, but drive or whatever. I don't know what it's called. But people tell you things. You just got to open your ears and listen. They'll tell you you should be doing this, or can you help me paint this, or can you make this for me, or can you do this for our church? People will be asking you things, and that's usually a sign that that's something you should expand on. All right. So the other things that I want to talk to you about are roadblocks that get into our way, our path. Every time we go to do something new, we have our fears. We have scary things we have to get over. There are just things that we have to conquer. It could be fear of success, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, fear of money, fear of reaching out for help, fear of keeping up with everything. I mean, there's just so much fear that we have to deal with. And as a business owner, that's something that we work on a daily basis. So if you are a new business owner and you're afraid, just know that it doesn't really go away. It just becomes a different fear. So for example, when I first started out, I had a fear of doing selling wreaths, putting myself out there. What if nobody likes me? Well, then I had a fear of what if I get a bad comment? I got a bad comment. How am I going to handle it? And then I had a fear of a person didn't get their shipment, and what about the shipping and setting up a business license, and what if I now can't keep up with demand? There's a lot of people are coming in and there's so many orders, and what if I can't keep up with this? And then it became fear of putting myself on Facebook and getting to Facebook Lives. And I mean, every step of your business growth, there's fear. Getting a business license, figuring out taxes. I mean, there's just fear to get over. Just know that you're not alone. And I don't want your fear to stop you. I don't want your fear to hold you back. There's also other speed bumps in that people will tell us we're doing things wrong. People will tell us you can't make a living at that. People will try to tell you that wreaths are just a phase. They're not going to last. It's not going to be, you guys, do you know they have been making wreaths for years, for centuries? I think the Greeks came out with their first wreath, didn't they? What, they put the things on their head or whatever, or is that just a myth? I don't know. They've been around for a long time. They're not going anywhere. In fact, we as a wreath industry are building that up to make sure more people know about wreaths, and they're going to start putting them on their doors even more seasons. Every day I want a wreath on my door. So we're building that up. People will tell you these things. I don't think they are trying to tell you to knock you down. I mean, some people might be, but I think the majority of people really have a good heart, and they're trying to help. They don't understand the drive you have. They don't understand the fire in your belly. They don't understand that God has placed this on your heart, and you have to follow this dream. You have to go where God tells you to go. They are trying to protect you. I really feel like people are trying to protect you, not hold you back. They don't want you to take that risk. They don't want you to be discouraged when things go wrong. They don't want you to fail. So even your loved ones might tell you things are going to go wrong, or that might be risky, or are you really sure? People don't mean to do it to bust your bubble. They're trying to protect you. But you have to know in your heart that you're meant for something good. You're meant for something better. You are meant for something that the Lord has put on your heart, whatever it is, and you need to go for it. You need to put all caution to the wind, fear to the curb, kick it to the curb. You need to do it scared. I do all my Facebook Live scared. I'm getting ready to get on stage in front of 350 people. I'm going to be doing that scared. Everything in my business I've done scared. And you can do it too. You can do it too. It takes baby steps. It doesn't mean that you start your business one day and then the next day you're on a stage with 350 people looking at you. That's not how it works. You start your business and you get these little hurdles and you have these little fears. You work through them, you overcome them, and then guess what? God will see what you've done, what you've taken, how you've expanded, how you've grown, and He'll give you more opportunity, more growth potential, more followers, more people on your email list, more sales, more whatever. So it's just getting through the initial fears, getting over it. Just do it scared. Go through don't listen to those people who are trying to protect you. Just follow your dream, follow your heart, follow that burning desire. We all have things that we are trying to expand on, grow with, fears to get over, okay? All right, so for some reason, something also that popped into my head is your expansion could be your reach. It could be money, it could be your business, it could be your relationships, but it could be something else, like a person. I don't know, he said something about a person. So think about how you can expand to the people. It could be maybe you need to expand on your Facebook page, or it could be that you just need to reach out to one person that's been laying heavy on your heart that you haven't reached out to yet. So think about that for a minute. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. So Lynn is saying she's got stumbling blocks that she's trying desperately to be sure that she's doing what God wants me to do. Lynn, follow your gut. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you go into your business of wanting to become rich, you're going to fail. If you go into your business of wanting to make a difference, to make somebody else's life better, to help other people, you're going to succeed. When you go into your business saying, I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for them, the money is just a residual. It automatically happens. So I hope that helps you. Lynn, you need to be, if you want to talk, go into my inner circle. I'll put the link here. Let's see if I can put it here. I'm helping people one-on-one in the inner circle. I also have one-on-one coaching if you're interested. Just email us at info@southerncharmwreaths.com. Deborah, this is why I said you inspire me. These are words of truth. Oh, thank you. Okay, so Becky, she's been making her wreaths for 20 years. She got burned out. She needed something I could do totally different but still do my wreaths. I decided to get into Chalk Couture, and she's loving it. That's awesome. So Becky, how can this word expansion, think about that. How can you use it in your Chalk Couture business? Deborah's saying, yes, wreaths have been popular even in the 70s when she was doing them or seeing them. All right, so Judy's question is, how do you start your business when you're in a poor state? Are you talking about location or state of mind? So if you're in a location where there is not a lot of residual income, I get that. that is unfortunate. However, that's not the only place you can sell. You've got the great old World Wide Web, people across the country to reach to. I sell probably one wreath out of the entire year to somebody local. The rest of the time, it's all over the U.S. So don't feel you got to expand your thinking and expand your territory. Think outside of your state, think outside of your city, think outside. There is a huge world out there that if you just got online, opened an Etsy shop, you would see sales coming in from all over the place, where there's people up north and people in Texas are willing to pay a lot more money for wreaths and specific items than they are in my local area. That's just the way it is. I don't know if it's because the cost of living is a little more there and they're used to paying more for like a gallon of milk, and so they'll pay a little bit more for something to hang on their door. I'm not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure that's probably what the deal is. They're just used to spending a little bit more on things than here in my rural area where, they're not. So that's probably something you could expand your horizon, but probably selling on Etsy would be a good start for your solution. All right, I'm looking for comments. All right, so Beth, is people telling her she's crazy? I don't do anything with my work. Okay, listen. People don't get my job. My mom, she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand it. She even says to me, I don't see how people could be interested in wreaths so much. My own mom. Again, it's not that she's trying to bust my bubble or she's not trying to hold me back. They don't understand it. I don't think, your family won't understand it. Sometimes when you start out, your spouse won't understand it. My husband didn't quite understand it. Not that he wasn't supportive. I mean, he was very supportive. And he would just be rolling his eyes, shaking his head, putting this whatever together, shelf, cleaning out some of his garage, shaking his head, rolling his eyes, not getting it, helping with whatever questions I had. He was like, whatever, helping. I mean, he was supportive. The minute I started paying the mortgage, the minute I started paying for Christmas paid in cash or our family vacation paid in cash, guess what? They get it. They understand. They're more than happy to build or do or whatever, move out more stuff in the garage so you make more room for wreath stuff. They get it. It just takes time. Not everybody is meant to understand what we do, what I do, what our craft is. They're not, because it's not their baby, is it? It's our baby. It's our thing that we put our heart, soul, and blood and tears into. It's our thing. They're not meant to understand, and that's okay. But that's why it's good when you get into a coaching group or someplace where you have other like-minded people who do get you, who do understand, who do relate, who can root you on for your next Facebook Live, things like that. So I hope that helps you. Just know that people think I'm crazy too. It ain't no different. All right, let's see. Oh, God. Okay, so Colleen, her website design is her strongest point. Let's see, website design isn't my strongest point. How essential is a website? Okay, Colleen. This month in the Inner Circle, now that you said that, we have a specialist coming in to the group. She is coming in on the 15th. She has helped me build 3 websites. Not helped, she did. She is going to come into the group and answer our questions. She's a branding specialist, so she's helped me create 3 websites, 3 brands behind the websites, and she's going to be answering all of our questions. So if you're interested in learning more about that, join the Inner Circle so that you can be in on that conversation. But you asked also a question on how important is it? I think if you're going to be considered a true business person, to be taken serious by anybody who wants to do business with you, there are a few things that you need. 3 things really. You need to have a business name. You need to be on a website, and you need to have an email opt-in, an email list for people to join so that you can communicate with them and you can have a conversation back and forth and things like that. Those 3 things are what is a legit business. I mean, obviously there's more things that go into it, like you need to check with your state, get a business license, or, check with your county, and do you need a business license for there? I mean, there are certain things too, but in order for other business companies to take you as a legit company, you really need a website. I have people reaching out to me all the time, wanting me to promote their products, wanting me to pay me money to promote their products, pay me money to write blog posts for them, but they would never have found me if I didn't have a website. Okay. So having a website, number 1, says I'm a legit person. I'm here for good. I'm not going anywhere. So it just builds up the value behind you. Also, when you go and make your website, you remember who is using your website. It's not you. Don't make it about you. You need to make it about the people visiting. You need to make it about the customers, make it about whoever's coming to visit you. Again, I said, if you put everybody else before yourself, and listen to what they are saying to you, you'll go further quicker. So Crystal's problem is getting started. I want to start a craft business, but I left my fear not knowing how to start stop me. I currently am not working, and so I don't even have money to get the supplies to start. It's a vicious cycle. Okay, it is a vicious cycle. You do unfortunately need some money to get started. Now, you don't need a lot. I'm just going to say that. I started my business with $500. That's it, $500. I went into this business knowing I was not going to be doing debt. I was not going to be putting any debt into the family. This was my dream. It'd have to be coming from my own resources. So how did we come up with $500? We have a garage sale. You could do services on the side. There's got to be something that you're good at. It might not be your wreath business. It might be something else, something you did in another job that you could do on the side. Babysitting, whatever, mow the lawns. If your dream is burning enough inside of you, knowing that this is what you've got to do, you find a way. You do find a way. I started out with $500. I made 2-3 wreaths, and I sold one. I took that same money, that the profits for that wreath, I went back and bought more supplies. I made 2 or 3 wreaths. I sold one. So every time I didn't sell the 3 that I made, I sold one. So I still had inventory. I was building inventory slowly. I was also, once I bought the supplies for that one wreath, I wouldn't use it all. I'd have a little bit more extra. I would build up inventory that way. One day I'd look at it and go, guess what? I don't have any more money, and I need more supplies to continue on with the season. So you could either put your items on sale, or what I did was I reached out to all my friends who couldn't afford my prices, and I said, hey, I need more money to go on with the next season. If any of you are interested in this, I'll let you have it at cost plus $30 or cost plus $20 or whatever you feel comfortable with. So that way I was getting my money back out of the supplies, and I was getting a little bit like $20 profit. Does that make sense? And then I'd put it back into my business. I mean, it was like a good solid 2 years of having that money go right back into my business, So it does take time to get going. It does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. But what will happen is it will snowball. So even my friends, you feel like, oh my gosh, I let that go for almost nothing. I didn't get anything out of it. But guess what? My friends put it on their door, and their neighbors said, hey, where did you get that wreath? And they sent them to me. And I also said, hey, friend, since I'm giving this to you at cost, can you check out on my Etsy shop, and can you give me a 5-star review? Yes. All right. So there's ways of getting through certain humps like that, of not making sales, or of trying to get the money to go from one season to the next. I hope that helps answer that question. So Susan's saying she likes buying good quality products for a great price, but it costs more. So Susan, if you're not getting, okay, I like good quality too, but let's be honest, you'll have a hard time finding people who spend, not saying that it's not going to happen. It could totally happen. You just have to reach the right people and the right audience. But a lot of people don't spend $400 on a wreath. Okay. A lot more people would spend, say, $200 on a wreath. And then a lot more people would say spend $80 on a wreath. So you can make these products and these price points using quality materials. If I think what you're relating to quality as expense, and you can find quality materials that aren't expensive. I also like to take some least expensive items and mix in like 2 or 3 quality focal pieces. So for example, if I have some sunflowers that are expensive, I'd put those sunflowers in a wreath and then put some littler flowers or filler or whatever that's not as expensive, but the overall wreath looks like an expensive wreath because the main event on the wreath are quality pieces. So you just learn to mix it up so that brings your price point down a little bit. Let's see. Looking at a website, not sure which one to use. Again, in the group, we're going to have somebody who comes in. I would personally, I think I'm a big WordPress, self-hosted WordPress is really the only way I would go. Because I mean, you could get started on some of the things that are smaller. You've got other people, you've got other quick tutorial, quick templated kind of websites, but you get hindered because they are not good for Google searches, and they're not meant like a WordPress website is. If I were going to put a lot of money or time or effort into a website, I would want to make sure that I get found on Google, that I own it, it's mine, I can make changes to it. I don't have to depend on somebody else to make the changes for me, things like that. So that's why I'm a real proponent of the WordPress self-hosted websites. All right, so I think I'm looking to see if there were any other questions. All right, so, okay, Lisa's great question. Her fear is her doubt. She's saying that there's already a lot of wreath makers out there, and how is she going to be seen? All right, if you take all of the wreath makers out there and you look at how many people are in United States, it is like a grain of sand, the followers we have. There is untapped potential. If you're in Canada, oh my gosh, you're wide open. There's a lot of untapped potential. Everywhere there's untapped potential. But let's just say you have all of these different wreath people, and we're all, encouraging and inspiring and making wreaths and encouraging you and, trying to teach you and stuff like that. There's just our personalities make us different. My personality is different than all of the other wreath makers' personalities. Your personality is different too. You have a different skill. You have a different level. You have your own style that comes out that will drive people to you. So we can't ever be all things to all people. We just can't. Think about that. We might be a perfect, what is it? A fruit, a tomato, juice, ripe, beautiful tomato. And then you're going to have people who don't like tomatoes or are allergic to tomatoes. They're not a tomato fan. They're not going to follow you. That's okay. We're just not ever meant to please everyone all the time. And you just have to go into your business and know you're not going to please people all the time. You're going to have some discouragement. You're going to have people who try to hold you back or make these comments that they don't understand how it really affects you. I mean, you just have to start getting a thick skin and know that, okay? So I hope that answers that question. We're all different. Your personality is going to come through and shine. Your energy will come through. And please know this, that majority of the time, you feel drawn to make wreaths. You feel drawn to make candles. You feel drawn to paint furniture. And you start it. But God has other plans. He has bigger plans. He really wants you to do something over here. But when you're in an infant stage, not taking risk, not opening your business, not doing your Facebook Lives, not making sales or thinking about making a sale, you can't get to that destiny that he has in mind for you. He wants you to start your little business, to get over some of your fears, to put yourself out there, and then he's going to give you some more opportunity and some more opportunity. And then before you know it, your destiny is there. You're doing what he really wants you to do. So sometimes, you guys, our business, our little wreath making businesses or our painting businesses are just a catalyst for something so much bigger. And you're missing out if you're not taking that step. You're missing out if you're not expanding. If you're not willing to grow and put yourself out there, take that leap of faith, you're missing out on what he has plans for you. So think about that for a minute, because there's no way did I ever think that me selling my goal 2 wreaths a week after being a stay-at-home mom was going to put me here. No way would I've ever thought that. No way would I have ever thought last year that I would be doing a live event this year in front of 350 people. No way. But if I was starting out selling the 2 wreaths and somebody said or whispered in my ear, hey, Julie, in 2018, you're going to be live on stage in front of 350 people. Do you think I ever would have done anything? I would have said, oh, heck no, I'm not. I would be like, that's not me. I'm not doing that. Actually, I don't even think I'm going to start now because I'm scared. That is way too big, way too hard and scary for me right now. But instead, we take these little fears that we have, these little roadblocks, these little speed bumps, we go over them, and guess what? New level, new devil, new speed bump, new freight, new fears to get over, new things to get over. And guess what? Now I've got something bigger to go through, something bigger to expand on. And so I'm open. Lord, use me the way you need to. I'm open to all of it now. And I understand that now. I know that he's using me to get to you, to make you realize that you are meant for greatness, and he is ready for you to expand, my friends. He is ready for you to grow. Reach out. Do what is burning in your heart, what has been pulling on you and tugging on you. Reach out to the people, reach out to the friends, reach out in your business, reach out to your community, reach out on your Facebook page. Whatever that expansion is that's weighing on your heart, he needs you to do it. He needs you to do it now, okay? Because that's what I hear. All right, you guys, I hope this was inspiring for you. I hope you got something out of it. Again, I'm helping business owners daily in my inner circle. I'd be honored if you joined. Again, we're going over Facebook Live tips, doing them. I just presented a challenge to my group. So all of the members have a challenge that they have to weigh heavy on their heart if they wanted to participate in, because all the challenges I give are only to grow you as a person, as a business owner. So I've got a challenge in the group for them, but I'm also giving them my Facebook Live training, give you all of the equipment that you need for Facebook Lives. I showed you the behind the scenes of what mine look like, how I do my Facebook Lives. I've given you over 100 ideas for doing Facebook Lives. I've given you also, I've got my overcoming fear training is in the group right now, and also my discouragement, getting over discouragement. So in addition to all of that, guess what? You get to ask me your questions, your main struggles. What are you really struggling with right now, today? And I help you through that. Okay, I help you with that. So the later of the month, we're going to have a website designer and brand designer. Brand expert, I should say. She'll be in the group answering our questions, helping us with branding tips or branding questions, whether it be a logo or a color or how to start a website or what we should look for in a website, or how does Google want our website to be set up? What is a search box and how do I put it on there? All of these different questions can be asked in the group this month. So again, join me if you can. I've got that on here. I'd be willing, and I can't wait to work for you and work with you, because you guys, all of you have what it takes already. Think about that. You already have what it takes. And God is putting people in front of you right now, for you to take action. God is helping you. If it's not me, it's somebody else. But God is putting people in front of you right now, wishing and hoping and wanting you to take action on your dreams. So I hope that you listen and follow your heart, and especially your dreams. You know, there was a study done when people with the regrets on their deathbed, and 77% of them said they regretted not following their dream or not taking risk in their career. 77%. Are you going to be somebody who regrets? Are you going to be somebody who reminisces at the end of your life? Think about that. You guys have a great weekend. God bless.